Hello, hello, hello. This is Carla Michelle, your host of the Strong Woman's Network podcast. And I am so happy that you're here today. Remember to subscribe to this great podcast so you can hear more from our great guest and myself. So today I have a special guest. Yes, a former actor, born and raised in LA. Went on from acting, became a successful executive producer, and also transitioned to a LinkedIn master career strategist and branding architect. There are some really, really great nuggets we're going to get today. I want to mention something that's really awesome, and we'll hear more as we go on with this conversation. But this person is Tommy Morgan Jr., who created a short film, less than 60 minutes, and it was discussed on Oprah, Nightline, all these great places, because it was made with $60,000 and it grossed a lot. So without further ado, let's hear more from Tommy Morgan Jr. Tommy, are you there?
I am here. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm so glad to have you here, and I'm so glad to what these people are about to hear. You are going to drop some great nuggets. We're going to talk about the philosophy of the circle. We're talking about mastering your craft and how to monetize your social media. Let's just start us with something. What do you got?
You know what? First of all, you all your listeners are gonna be like, that guy sucks.
Nah, he's great. Wait till they hear you.
You're really pumping me up. So I hope I live up to that. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. It's true. So tell us a little bit about just what you do as a master career strategist, branding architect.
Well, what's really interesting, I have been really, really blessed in business. My mom always said I was nosy, but I like to say I'm not nosy. I'm inquisitive. So a lot of questions. I was always that kid that wanted to know how something worked. How did you do this? How did you do that? So I was never really intrigued with actors or athletes because I went to a school that I was always around that. So it was kind of normal to me. Mm-hmm. I was always intrigued by people that built things out of nothing. So I would meet someone who was successful at whatever it was. And I would ask them, how did you get to be where you are? Wow. Then what happened? Wow. And what was your first break? And how did you put this together? How did you put that together? And then what was the next step? And just being nosy, I have learned that I have built a very successful career by being the world's biggest copycat. And I tell people all the time, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid. Okay. So literally that's honestly how I built my career. So how I started in the space of being a career strategist, I met this gentleman that was very, very, very successful. And he was a terrible husband. He was a terrible father because he spent his whole life building his business. And he basically had no people skills. So I got in his life. I kind of helped him rearrange some things. He was an older guy, so his business was kind of antiquated. So I helped him, strategize, using social media and things of that nature. And I had no idea that he too was a public speaker, but he would jump on stage in front of, 4,000 and 5,000 people at a time. And he was saying that he met this young black kid in LA that helped change his life. So now my phone starts ringing and my phone starts ringing. So I had no idea that people would pay you for your career advice or your guidance. But I say now, as a strategist, even Michael Jordan had a coach. So everyone should have someone in their life that kind of keeps them on the straight and narrow, and they get good sound advice from. But just make sure that person is has your best interest at hand. I have a whole philosophy about that too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, okay, very simple. A lot of people jump on social media and they want to say everything they're doing. Okay. But watch this. Not everyone genuinely wants to see you succeed. Wow. So people can't hate on what they don't know. Okay? So putting things on social media, because if you think about it, if you told me right now you wanted to be an actress, right, and you put it all on social media, keep in mind there are people that have regular jobs that they hate, but they have to have them because they have a child to take care of. They have a real house note. They have real rent. They have real car notes. They have real everything. But you're free to just run off and, make your dreams come true. That person is going to hate your guts. Okay? So don't put it out there. Just don't put it out there. Just do what you need to do. And I say all the time, make all your moves in the dark. So when someone turns on the light, you're way over on the other side of the room. Okay?
That's
Make
good.
your moves in silence.
Okay. Tommy, can I interrupt you there right there? Because that is something that you don't hear often, is to keep your success silent or in the dark, because usually, well, that's all we see is, flash, and this is what I'm doing. This is where I am. I'm in this jet, which is probably rented. It's not really yours. You're
Don't
just
even get
taking
me
pictures.
started on that. Don't even get me started on that.
I love it.
I mean, okay, watch this. A lot of times we are walking contradictions, because I'm a hip hop kid. And in hip hop, we're like, hey, keep it real. Let's keep it real. Keep it 100, right? Okay. Now, I used to produce music videos. I'm the guy that was renting the mansions and, paying the insurance and all the cars and the jewelry and all that kind of stuff. And the artist will roll up in a raggedy car with a red door and a green fender. I'm like, come on, man, knock it off.
Tell the truth.
But he's the main one saying keep it real. So, my whole thing is, even on social media, a lot of people spend a lot of time on social media, and, everybody's popping bottles. Everybody's throwing money. Everybody's got a Benz. Come on, man. We know that's not real. So my whole thing is, if you really want to be that person, why don't you take the time and put the energy and the time in to really go be that person?
True.
But a lot of people waste a lot of time and energy. Case in point, I have a client, and she's a Beverly Hills housewife, not on the television. She's a real Beverly Hills housewife. And she married this gentleman who had a big, big, big life. He's worth like $500 million, and they've been married 10 years, and she has 2 kids. And so basically, she lost herself in his life because he has such a big life. So my job in her life, I'm in her life as a life coach, in a life coach capacity.
Okay.
So she's like, Tommy, I just want to lose these last 10 pounds, but I just don't have time. And just the kids and soccer practice and ballet and the kids, I just don't have time. I don't have time. But every time I talk to her, every time, Tom, I was on Facebook. Listen, I was on Facebook. I was watching something on Facebook, and I just let her hang herself. And I said, listen, let me ask you a question. How much time do you spend on Facebook? I'm just curious. And she said, not a lot, maybe about an hour a day. I said, okay, pause. I said, an hour a day, 5 business days. I said, that's 5 hours that you can dedicate toward bettering yourself. But no. You're too busy commenting on what Beyonce had on. Do you think Beyonce gives a half of a damn what you think? I said, no, because she's too busy being great. Now, knock it off. Knock it off.
I love it.
And most people do that. I'm not, and that's what broke people do, man. I'm not going to sit up and watch grown men dancing on TikTok. I'm like, come on, man. Really? Knock it off.
Yes.
Take the time and figure out really what you want to do and go get it.
That's right.
That's what I do as a career strategist. I really break people down, and I show them how they can really take the time and energy and really go be successful. Because my mentor is he's worth $8 billion. He owns over 70 hotels. And this is a very, very busy man. But watch this. We all have the same 24 hours. How are you spending yours? And I ask everybody that question, and it kind of makes them reevaluate where they stand.
I love it, especially since we're coming into new year, new opportunities and things. This is the time to really look at our foundation and what are we doing with the time that we have. So how do you get somebody? Go ahead.
You mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned that. Okay, now watch this. we're in a time of a pandemic right now. Everybody's at home, and the universe has a way of resetting itself. So
That's
that's
right.
what we're going through right now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because we're going through this reset, okay, people are spending more time at home with their families, which they should. Okay. People are getting back to prayer. You know, even if that's really you know, whatever their source is, they're
Mm-hmm.
getting back to that.
Yes.
Okay. We're getting back to eating a different way because you're not running the street eating fast foods and all that kind of stuff. So the universe has a way of resetting itself. But that being said, okay, I tell people all the time, take this time to do what you always wanted to do because you have the time to do it. If you want to lose 20 pounds, go do that. If you want to start a business, yo, go get it. Let's go get it. Okay. If you want to, learn a new language, do that. Better yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Build your brand. Build your brand. It's very important because now you have the time to do it.
So when you talk about building brand, that is definitely, taking the time to do that within the midst of this pandemic. But what kind of tips can you give someone who has no clue how to build a brand?
Okay. Case in point, I think the word brand is thrown around and people don't really know the real definition of it.
True.
When you have a brand, put it like this. Okay. Most people do not even know who they are. And I'll tell you what I mean. Okay. I own a company, and when people come in to interview with me, I'll ask them a simple question. I'm like, so, tell me about yourself. And they're like, oh, wow. That's a good question. I'm kind of like, well, you know. I'm like, no, I don't know. That's your job. And I let them completely fall apart. Okay. Now, in business, not just in business, just in life, you're a salesperson. People need to know that. You are a salesperson. Okay. If you meet a great guy or a great girl, you're selling yourself. If you go to a job interview, you're selling yourself. Okay. If you own your own business, you're selling yourself to your potential clients.
Mm-hmm.
And most people don't even know what their product is. Okay. Now I'm holding my cell phone right now.
Yes.
And if I was a salesperson and I sold cell phones, I'm gonna tell you everything about this cell phone. I'm gonna tell you the height. I'm gonna tell you the weight. I'm gonna tell you the colors that are available. Is it scratch resistant? Is it waterproof? What's the memory capacity? I'm gonna tell you everything so you can make an intelligent assessment as to whether you want to buy that phone or another one. Okay, but you have all the information.
Right.
You have all the information. Okay, so when you build a brand, keep in mind, you don't just buy a product. You buy people. Okay?
Yeah.
I hear that all the time. My friend here in LA is a big radio DJ. He's my neighbor. And on the radio, I hear him all the time. So he'll ask some kid that made it big, and he'll say, so tell me about your album. And the kid is like, know what I'm saying? Not me. Know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? November 23rd. Go cut that. I'm like, wow, bro, you have a microphone to 4 million people, and you can't even tell the people what and why they should buy your album.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you ask someone that is, media savvy, so Justin Timberlake, tell me about your album. He's going to say, oh, wow, first of all, I want to thank my producers. I want to thank Puffy and Timberland and Just Blaze. And he might name 6 or 7 people. You might not even be a fan of his, but you might be a fan of one of them. So let me show you what he did right there. He just expanded his audience. Okay.
Yeah.
And then he's going to tell you, okay, back in the day, he had a relationship with Britney Spears. And when they broke up, okay, he had a song called Cry Me a River.
Yes.
So he said, wow, I want to thank Timberland, one of my producers, because we were in Miami for 4 weeks and, I was going through some things and I went through a bad breakup and he pulled that song out of me, Cry Me a River. Now people are going to listen to it different. They're going to watch the video different, okay, because he touched your emotions. And a lot of people don't know sales is advanced psychology. Wow. And persuasion, okay? And that man touched your emotions, That's why you go out and buy his album.
That's good.
Okay?
Advanced
It's
psychology.
real. It's real.
I love it. I love
It's
it.
real.
So
Okay.
so when you mentioned the difference in the performers, one had a team that probably prepped him and the other was what, hanging out with his, I don't know. I don't want to prejudge, but
Well, a lot of we're in a day and age right now. Back in the day, the Motown era, they had artist development.
yes.
They would teach you how to dress. They would teach you how to address the media. It was all business. Nowadays, they just grab a kid off the internet and they throw him out there. They don't care about their kid's well-being. They just want to make a quick buck. Okay,
Sure.
that's why I tell these people, master your craft, and especially in show business, it's 98% business. It's only 2% show.
Yeah.
Okay, so you better learn your business and master your craft. Okay, because there are people, here in Los Angeles, there are people that move out to LA and they just really believe that because they're good looking, they're just gonna kill the game. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't even work like that. Master your craft.
So
Master your craft.
when you say master your craft, can you just go a little deeper for me, for the
Sure.
listeners?
Love
Okay.
to.
Okay.
Love to. Okay. Now watch this. I'm from LA. Kobe Bryant was my dude, right? Kobe played hoop. That's it. Kobe didn't sell insurance. He didn't sell soda pop. Kobe played hoop. And he spent thousands and thousands and thousands of hours mastering his craft. Okay. I remember we went to go see him play one night. And he hit the game-winning shot. It was crazy at the Staples Center. People went crazy. And he was being interviewed, and this guy goes, "Kobe, how'd you feel? I mean, the pressure. I mean, how'd you feel, Kobe? The pressure of hitting that shot." And he looked at that dude like he was crazy. He said, "Come on, man. You know how many thousands of times I've done that in practice?"
Wow.
He said, "Man, I expect it to go in. I expect it to go in."
Yeah.
And that's somebody who mastered their craft. Okay? Master your craft. So you expect those results.
Yeah.
Okay, now watch this. I do this whole thing when I speak on stage. I talk about the circle. Okay?
Okay.
And here's the circle. The circle has 3 pillars. Okay? 1, who's in your circle? Who is in your circle? Like if you have a dream and you got a fire in you to pursue that dream, the people in your circle, do they help put wood on that fire? Or are they trying to pee on it to put it out?
Yeah.
So you need to check your circle.
Yeah.
Check your circle. That's 1. Okay. 2 is what's the philosophical belief in your circle? Because my father always taught us. He said, if you hang with 9 broke friends, then damn it, you will be the 10th one. Okay. So who's in your circle? Check your circle. Okay. Now here's the deepest part. Which way do you want your circle to spin? And here's what I mean. Average people, okay, and I say average, not with any disrespect at all. It's just that average people are taught, go to school, get out, punch a clock, and go work for somebody else.
Yeah.
They trade hours for dollars.
There you go.
They trade hours for dollars, right? Okay. So in other words, they chase money. So their circle spins clockwise, like a clock. Okay. Successful people, their circle spins counterclockwise because they don't chase money. Money chases them. Back to Kobe. Kobe spent so many thousands of hours mastering his craft that Nike, Sprite, McDonald's, Gatorade, and all his other ancillaries and all his brand extensions are chasing him with millions of dollars. Please, Kobe, money, please do business with us.
There you go.
It's because he mastered his craft. Okay? And when you master your craft, it leads into other things. Like Kobe won an Oscar. He was a storyteller, a producer. He did sportscasting. He had all these other things that he was involved in, but it branched from his foundation of him mastering his craft.
Wow. Mastering your craft sounds like a magnet. That's the thing. It brings stuff to you without you having to work so hard at chasing it. Like you said, it's definitely a magnet on another level.
It's funny you say magnet because let's go a little deeper.
All right.
Okay. Your body is a magnet. You know, when you walk across the carpet and you touch the doorknob and you get shocked.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's because your body carries a current,
Yes.
and a lot of times you draw people to you that are much like you. And sometimes people get that mirror effect, and the people that get drawn into their life, they have a lot of drama because they don't like what they see.
All right.
That's a fact. Okay. Now, all my friends are creatives. Okay. I say all the time, I don't have a job. I hang with my friends and make money. Okay. Here's how we think. Okay. We're creatives. So we see things a different way. We could be out bowling, right? We could be out bowling and, you know, we're all talking about each other and cracking mama jokes and all that kind of stuff. And somebody will say something really funny and we're like, ha, 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 ha. Ooh, you know what? And next thing you know, that's paying us. Okay. Because we all look at things from a creative standpoint.
I love it.
Okay.
I love
so
it.
I say all the time, creative people just need to be in the same space.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need to have a meeting or anything, nothing structured.
Yeah.
It's just that creatives, you know, it's proven we're right-brained people. We think a different way.
Yeah, definitely. I like that because in there goes your circle that you're talking about, right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And you should always check your circle. Always check your circle. Okay. My mentor, he said something, it was so deep. He said he could tell everything about a person by 3 things. And I said, well, what's that? That's interesting. And he said, I'm going to look at your social media. I'm going to look at what's in your bookcase. And I'm going to look at your DVR and the kind of TV shows that you take.
Well.
And I said, wow, you're going to have to break that one down to me. And he goes, well, he said, if you're watching, you know, Love and Hip Hop and Housewives of Atlanta and all this kind of stuff, and then I look at your bookcase and all you have is like the National Enquirer and People Magazine and all those gossip magazines. And then he said, I look at your social media, and if you're following people who are negative and they're not teaching you anything, he said, you're broke. And he said, and you're going to be broke because just like you are what you eat, you are what you digest mentally. And your mind is in direct proportion with your pocket. We all know that, and that's a fact.
Okay. So, say that again, though. Say that again.
Your mind is in direct proportion with your pocket. Okay? So if you're feeding yourself, you know, and I'm not knocking anybody's art. Please don't get that wrong. It's just that, you know, when people digest that type of material over and over and over, and they just hear people throwing things and cussing people out and, you know, acting a fool on television, you know, that's not really feeding your spirit or feeding your soul. So you just have to be careful what you digest. And again, I'm not knocking any of that stuff. It's entertainment just like everybody else. There's a market for it. But you just have to be careful what you feed your spirit. I'll just say that.
And at least find harmony in it, you know, because if that's all you're digesting, that's all you're going to produce, like you said. So finding that, these are like, as we go into we're in this 2021, these are new opportunities to really rethink what we are digesting, rethinking who's in our circle. I love it. Good stuff.
Absolutely.
What else you got?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, most of what I believe, again, is philosophical. You know, I tell my clients, you know, let's find out who they are.
Yeah.
And like I said, most people don't even know who they are. Let's really find out who you are, because I, for one, I'm one of those people who believes like having a job that you hate, it takes years off your life. It really does.
So true.
So let's make your vacation your occupation. I'll give you a perfect example. Okay, growing up, I was about 18. I had my own car, so I was 18, 19. All my friends that I grew up with, on Saturday, we go play basketball at this elementary school by my house. Okay, so all of us that had cars, I had a friend who loved to wash cars. Here's the funny part. He didn't even have a car, but he loved to wash cars. So what we did on Saturday morning, we'd all park our cars at his house, you know, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. We leave the keys, and then we go play hoop. And when we come back around, 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, our cars were washed, armor-walled, vacuumed, detailed, all that, right? So the trade-off was when we would all go hang out, Okay, we'd all take care of his food. If we went to the movies, we all chipped in and paid for him. He never paid for anything because he washed our cars. Okay, now fast forward, this guy has 29 trucks running all over LA. He's a multi-millionaire, and he has built a business on what he loved to do. So he made his vacation his occupation. Okay,
I know that's
and
right.
that's what people need to find. That's what people need to find. I have a very dear friend. She went through a divorce. Okay, and one day, you know, when she found out that her marriage was going bad, she was crying, and we just sat in the car and just talked for hours. And I didn't have any answers for her. She just wanted to just get it out.
Yeah.
She was just crying, just wanted to get it out. Okay, now here's the thing about her. She always made jewelry, and she is a fantastic jewelry maker, or I guess you would call her a jeweler. Okay, and she's probably one of the best dressed women that I've ever met. Now, just because she's always wearing her stuff, and people are always stopping her. Oh my God, that's amazing! Oh my God, who made that? And oh my God, and she say, oh, I made it myself. She take the compliment and just keep it moving. Now, this is something that I witnessed for years, right? So I got her some business cards, and I said, every time someone gives you a compliment, I said, give them your card. I said, and by the way, I said, why don't you just work on giving 10 cards out a day? Just 10 cards. That's it. Just give away 10 business cards. Okay. Fast forward. Okay. She is a millionaire and has a jewelry brand that is killing the game.
Nice.
Because her stuff is so unique, and they're all one of a kind pieces. Yeah. And over the years, you know, she's acquired celebrity clientele. You know, magazines like Essence and others will call her, and they want her to be the stylist on their photo shoots and things of that nature. So her business has grown into 4 and 5 and 6 different revenue streams because, back to this, she mastered her craft.
Yeah. Tommy, let me ask you this, because right now, if I was the outside looking in, I'm like, okay, that could be simple, but yet we run into, as you know, we can have clients that just can't get it wrapped around their mindset that this is possible. Right. Do you, and this is probably off the cuff, but do you have any tools or resources that they can use to get past themselves?
Oh, 100%. Again, it's what you digest. Okay. Now, to me, I believe, and I'll go to my grave saying this: if you think it, you can achieve it.
Amen.
I'll go to my grave saying that. Okay. Now, everybody thinks everybody else has success, but you can have it too. Okay. I have a buddy. He is the most average. He's just an average guy, but growing up, he dated some of the most amazing women you've ever seen in your life.
Emphasis.
Some of them look like they were created on a computer. I mean, just amazing, right? Okay. Here's his philosophy. It's real funny. I know this sounds very shallow, but here was his philosophy, because he's just an average guy. But he would say, she got to date somebody. Why not me?
Okay.
So this dude had the swag like you would not believe. He would walk right up to someone and say, how you doing? It's really nice to meet you. Listen, I was wondering if you're available for dating. Oh. I was like, oh my God, that worked.
Just simple. Okay.
And but you know what, man? He had an amazing personality.
Okay.
And it is what it is. So I believe that in business. I mean, somebody got to be a millionaire. Why not you?
That's right.
Okay. And you've got to really believe that.
Yeah.
Now, I, for one, believe in vision boards. Okay. I've been practicing vision boards since I was like, about 16, 17 years old. Now, for those who don't know what a vision board is, you can just go get, a piece of cardboard or, contact paper or whatever it is, and cut out things that you want. And now it has gone and post them on the vision board.
Yeah.
Okay. And I tell my clients this, and I have them put together a vision board, and I have them represent 4 quadrants. Okay, family, lifestyle, finance, and health. Okay, because a lot of people, they put what they want on there, and I want this car and that house and this piece of jewelry and that Rolex and all that kind of stuff, but they don't represent good health. Okay, because if you really think about it, you can have all that stuff, but if you're laying in a hospital bed not able to take care of yourself, what does it all mean?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's great.
so have a vision board, and then you look at it every day. Okay. Now, Jim Carrey, I haven't seen him in a long time, but Jim Carrey used to be a friend of ours, and Jim was back in the day on In Living Color. Okay, the Wayans are like that's like my family. I love them all. Okay, and the TV show In Living Color, we'd be down there, and Jim, hilarious. This guy is hilarious, but he had a check that he used to carry in his wallet, and he wrote himself out a check for I believe it was $10 million, right? And he carried that raggedy check in his wallet for years and years and years, and then I think Dumb and Dumber. I believe it was Dumb and Dumber. Okay, $10 million was actually his paycheck.
Yes.
For that movie.
That's amazing.
Okay, so I believe that if you think it, you can achieve it. Okay, and if you have a goal, write it down, because it's one step closer to being a reality. Now it's not just a thought, now it's a thing. So write it down, and you can put it on your mirror, you can put it on your refrigerator and look at it every day, but it's one step closer to being a reality. And I so believe in that.
I love that.
Okay, and I'll just say this again, I don't really say much, but I'll say this. I have a check that I wrote to myself, and it's on my vision board at home right now. And the amount is so stupid. It's ridiculous. Let me tell you something. Yeah. And I believe this with my soul, with everything I got. One day, I'm going to be able to cash that check.
I believe it.
I
know. I got my own check too. I know what you mean. It's been hanging with me for a minute, and I know it. It ain't nothing but a thing, right?
But you also have to put in the work.
Yeah.
Because you can't just have a dream. Like, as a coach, okay, if you were my client right now, I'm not that guy who's going to be, hey, you can do it, and hey, for your dreams. I'm not that guy. I'm going to have my foot on your neck, okay, because I believe that, again, someone's got to hold you accountable.
Yes.
Okay, that's one. Okay, and two, I don't believe in following your dreams. I don't believe in that. I believe if you have a dream, excuse my French, but go hunt that bitch down. Go get it.
There you go. That's true.
So you just, again, even Michael Jordan has a coach.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You need to have someone in your life that holds you accountable, because even me, I'm a very driven person, but I have the attention span of an 8-year-old boy. I really do. Okay. And sometimes I need my mentor in my ear all the time. I need him in my ear, and he's a very different kind of guy. And this gentleman has it's not even about money to him. He's way past that. And I even asked him that, again, being nosy. I asked him that. I'm like, man, what drives you? What drives you? Because most people, if they're worth $8 billion, anything, they're done. Okay. But he just smiled at me. He said, Tommy, it's not even about that. He said, man, I love the challenge of putting deals together. It's like putting a puzzle together. And he said, I just enjoy that. And that's he turned his vacation into his occupation. Yeah. And it just happened to rain money on him. But money was never the goal. Yeah. It was just that he loved the real estate business. He went from real estate, just doing real estate and residential and commercial properties, and then he got into apartment buildings, and now he does hotels.
I love it.
And his business just grew organically.
So I have a question. That's awesome. Yes, I'm thinking about what a listener would think right now hearing that, and they're probably like, well, you're lucky because you have a mentor like that. Little on me, I don't know people like that.
Okay, that's a great question. Okay, LinkedIn is the most powerful tool on the planet. People don't even
Oh,
know.
it's powerful.
Okay. Oh my God, is it powerful? You can reach out to anyone
Yes.
on LinkedIn and really build a conversation. And you might say, well, gee, Tom, I'm not really good on networking with people. Okay, that's great. Okay, but when you build your network on LinkedIn, there are things that are just very simple tools. Like it'll tell you, like, say you have 300 people in your network.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it will tell you, who has a birthday
Yes,
today.
it does.
Okay, so you could just click on that. Happy birthday. And then I might add a little something. Hey, enjoy yourself today. You really deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know this person.
Yeah.
And they'll hit me back and they'll say, thank you, Tommy. I really appreciate that. How you doing today? I'm like, hey, man, I'm good. Everything all right with you? Next thing you know, we're in a real conversation and you're really seeing a person's real true personality is coming through.
Yeah.
Now, some people don't want to be bothered with you. That's cool because that's somebody you don't need in your life
Yeah.
anyway. Okay. But then there are real people. There are people that reach out to me from all over the world and just say, hey, Tom, just want to ask you a question. What are your thoughts on this? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. Okay. And next thing you know, you have a real relationship with people who really want to know what you think, how you
Yes.
move, and next thing you know, you're in business with them.
So you can't be scared.
Okay. You can't listen. If you're scared, call the police. Okay. Don't be scared of anything. Like I said, if you have a dream, you got to go
Go
get it, and you
get
got to be
them.
aggressive.
Yes. Yes.
You have to be aggressive, okay? Because even actors, I hear this all the time. People are just, they're we, and I'm gonna say we because I'm an actor too. Okay, we are some very needy people.
Mm.
And what I mean by that, we put everything on Facebook and everything on Instagram and hey everybody, I got an audition.
Mm.
Listen to me. People don't give a damn. Knock it off. Knock it off. Work on your
Yeah.
craft. Okay?
Keep on.
And we're needy. I have to get likes. And I have to get I don't even get it. To me that's a personality disorder.
Wow.
To me.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
No, I
But
see it. No,
I just roll a different way.
but you know what? It makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah. I love it.
Well, if you're secure in yourself, then all that stuff doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've seen people actually get broken because people didn't like their picture or people don't. And watch this. And I want to be very clear with this. Art is subjective.
Definitely.
You and I could go to a museum right now,
Yes.
and you're standing there, and I'm standing right next to you, and we're looking at the same piece of art, and I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. And you're like, I wouldn't put that shit in my house. Okay. So art is
It very
subjective.
much so
So you
is.
can't allow someone to beat you down like that.
Mm.
Okay. I'll give you a great one. Okay. I did this show and the critics tore me up. It was this one critic in particular, and he tore me up. Oh my God, he tore me up. He questioned me as an actor, and he broke me down. And I literally was on the verge of tears, right? And Blair Underwood he said, Tom, why are you tripping? I said, man, you don't understand. I mean, this dude really broke. He said, Tom, knock it off.
Mm.
He said, man, that's somebody who can't do what you do, but he's critiquing your work. Does that even make sense to you?
Well, there you go.
And it was just how he said it.
Mm.
Okay. Now, see, if somebody else said that, it wouldn't really hold the same weight as someone like a Blair Underwood because that guy is an actor,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. So he held a different kind of weight.
Yeah.
That
No,
makes
it
sense?
makes total sense. So it almost circles back to who's in your circle and the
There you have it.
philosophy of the belief that they have, and also
There you
why
have
it's
it.
important to hook up with a mentor that speaks some life into you and takes you outside of your insular point of view. So, I mean, that's like definitely important. We wouldn't be talking if we didn't connect on LinkedIn, you know, and I appreciate the birthday wish, and being here today is part of it. So,
Yes, ma'am.
and
Yes, ma'am. We'll see, and you never know. Down the road, you and I might start a business together. You
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 never
don't know.
know.
You don't
You
know. You
never
never
know.
know. You never know. It's just sometimes conversations are very, very
Yeah.
important, and you need to be around people who are
Yeah.
creatives. Okay, and my hat off to you for creating a platform for other people to be entertained and to learn from.
Yes.
I like we have a term we like to use, edutain.
Edu-
You're edutaining
Yes,
people.
I love that. Edutain. I love it. I love it. But that's what we're
Yes,
doing. And
ma'am.
that's what you're doing with the work that you do on the screen, off the screen, in people's lives. And it just keeps going. I know that I've had you for a minute here, and you have really dropped some really good stuff about mastering our crafts. In closing, is there anything else you would like to say before we close this wonderful conversation down?
Sure. I just want people to know that I'm not on any social media other than LinkedIn. And you can find me at Tommy Morgan Jr. on LinkedIn. That's TommyMorganJr, of course, on LinkedIn.
Right.
Okay. And I welcome questions. No question is a bad question. Okay. But I really need someone to think about having someone, a career strategist or a coach in your life, whether it's me or whether it's someone else.
Yeah.
Okay. But make sure that they honestly, truly want to help you succeed. And let me say this before we
Say
go.
it.
Okay. Last I checked, it was 163,000 books on Amazon on self-help.
Mm.
Okay. This I promise you, 162,000 of those people don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're trying to sell you a book.
Tell the truth.
Okay. So if you get with someone, check their credentials.
Mm.
Okay. Because if you want to be a fireman, hang out with a fireman, because a plumber can't teach you how to do it.
There you go.
So someone who is successful can't teach you how to be successful. Okay. And everybody, if you go on LinkedIn right now, everybody's a best-selling author. Everybody's best-selling. Come on, man. Come on now. Knock it off. If you sold, here's how it works. If you sold 20 books on Amazon that week and somebody else sold 18 books, you can claim that you're a best-selling author.
Oh,
Come on, man. Knock it off. I'm in show
yeah.
business.
Wow.
So just make sure you find someone who can really guide you where you want to go.
And that's
my
true.
message.
Thank you, Tommy Morgan Jr. It is such a pleasure to just, talk to you for one, and then just to hear what you have to say that can help propel someone to the next level. I appreciate your time. And I thank you and just speak success over your new year that is coming. And I know you don't really need it because you're what, chasing that bitch. So you got this. I love it. And thank you so much for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, there was Tommy Morgan Jr. on with us at the Strong Women's Network podcast. And we will see you next time. Thank you, Tommy.